Military kills 40 bandits in Zamfara, recovers over 1,000 cows. Governor Bello Matawalle inspects state border to assess the level of the lockdown. Governor Ganduje commends Kano people for observing fasting and prayer against COVID-19. On business, African Development Bank launches record-breaking $3 billion to fight COVID-19. On sports, Barcelona players agree 70% pay cuts. And on the international scene, New York hospital doctor prepares for the worst on COVID-19. Hello viewers, welcome to Standard Voice Television News. I am Musa Joy Unyoza. The renewed onslaught against armed bandits in Zamfara State by the military under Operation Hadarin Daji has scattered and disorganized the terror groups who are now scampering for a way out. According to the news agency of Nigeria, troops of the Operation Hadarin Daji had in the last 1 week killed nothing less than 40 bandits across bushes and villages of the two local government areas of Bungudu and Maru. The troops, while using air power from fighter jets and helicopters of the Nigerian Air Force component, cleared large parts of Koli, Tungarmata, Dadinkowa, and Jankura villages in Bagega district of Anka local government area as well as in Nasarawa area of Gusau local government. A source close to the military operations confirmed to NAN that about 1,000 cows and over 500 sheep were intercepted at one location alone when the bandits tried to use the thickness of buzai bushes to cross to Zaria in Kaduna State, but ran away on sighting the troops. The source who spoke on condition of anonymity also said many kidnapped victims, including the recently kidnapped village head of Uya in Gumi local government area, were rescued, while several weapons including AK-47, G3 rifles, and an unspecified number of magazines, ammunition, and money, as well as some motorcycles and drugs, were abandoned by the surviving criminals. As part of effort to curb the spread of coronavirus in the state, Governor Bello Matawalle Maradun has inspected the state border with Katsina at Ankara town to assess the level of enforcement of the lockdown order by the security agents. Governor Matawalle commended the security agencies for enforcing the order and directed them to give a paper certification to any driver screened at the border to avoid unnecessary investigations by other security agencies. The governor ordered for the release of all vehicles conveying food and medical supplies to pass. He said the decision to shut down the state was taken along with his Katsina and Sokoto state colleagues who have equally shut down their borders.
And even the President of the Republic of Nigeria has done so yesterday, which was locked down by him, Lagos and Abuja. And already before then, the three governors of Sokoto and Parekebi decided to lock down our state in order not to allow any person to enter into our state, so that we should protect our good people and the good citizens of the state. And immediately when we have done that, I have a committee that will enforce this order that we have made, which the committee comprises the Army, Police, Civil Defense, SSS, and some Islamic cleric, which now they are working. And as you can see, no any vehicle coming into Zamfara and no vehicle going outside of the state.
He said the existing shutdown policy will be relaxed at the expiration of the 2 weeks or reviewed with more stringent measures, depending on the level of improvement at the control of the pandemic. The Directors General in Zamfara State have donated 15% of their March salaries to support effort in combating the coronavirus pandemic. This was contained in a statement by the chairman of the DG's Forum in the state, Alhaji Idris Rikiji, and made available to newsmen in Gusau. The State Commissioner of Information, Alhaji Suleiman Tinau, commended the forum for the kind gesture. Alhaji Tinau, who is the chairman publicity subcommittee of State Task Force for Control and Prevention of COVID-19 in the state urged well-meaning individuals to support the effort of the task force in preventing the spread of the virus in the state. According to news report, the task force headed by the Speaker, Zamfara House of Assembly Alhaji Nasru Magaria, had on Sunday received 5 million naira donation from former Minister of Finance Bashir Yugoda. The committee also received 30,000 crates of eggs and 200 bags of millet from former Governor Alhaji Ahmed Sani and 200 bags of millet from Emir of Zurumi Alhaji Abubakar Atiku for distribution to indigent residents. Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje of Kano State have commended people of Kano State and beyond for observing fasting as he requested during the official inauguration of fundraising committee on COVID-19 at Africa House Government House, Kano State. He assured that the pandemic could be tamed, taking into cognizance prayers and other measures that are taken in line with advices from health experts, that with the special grace of Allah, the pandemic disease would be tamed not only in Nigeria but across the world. All those who observe the fasting and those who could not afford to, both according to him, deserve respect and appreciation from the state, and thank all on behalf of the good people of the state. While praying for a safer and healthier society by the public, he also urged all to always observe hand washing with soap and running water, as advice given by health workers, and the use of hand sanitizer, all in an effort to see to the end of the global threat called COVID-19. The Nigerian government has confirmed the second death from coronavirus in the country. The Minister of Health, Dr. Osagi Ehanire, announced this on Monday during the Presidential Task Force briefing on COVID-19 in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. He said till date, 3 persons have been discharged after successful treatment, but sadly another fatality was recorded over the weekend in the person of a patient who had severe underlying illnesses. He stressed that Nigeria has 111 confirmed cases of COVID-19, saying a majority of them were persons who came in from overseas. According to the health minister, the highest number of confirmed cases are in Lagos and Abuja because they serve as the major gateways to the country. He also informed the gathering that all retired but able-bodied staff of the Nigerian Center for Disease Control and the Federal Ministry of Health were being recalled. Professor Ehanire warned Nigerians to protect the elderly among them, as well as those having underlying health issues, as they were the most vulnerable. In his opening remarks, the Secretary to the State Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, informed the audience that the briefing would be a daily event. He explained that the purpose was to give an update and minimize the incidence of fake news in the country. SGF Mustafa stressed that the briefing would be the only approved briefing of the task force, although appearances on TV by relevant members would be allowed. He announced that President Muhammadu Buhari has constituted a committee headed by the Vice President Yemi Osibanjo to care for the economic challenges that the situation may bring for the time being. The SGF also clarified the controversy triggered by the restriction of the movement in Lagos and Ogun State, as well as the Federal Capital Territory. The federal government has been urged to extend her palliatives to include suspension of payment of electricity and water bills for the ordinary Nigerians for 2 months in the wake of dwindling economic fortunes. A member of the House of Representatives representing Mayama Koko Brise Federal Constituency of Kebbi State, Alhaji Shehu Koko, made the call in a statement made available to journalists. This, according to him, will go a long way to assist the federal government effort to cushion the hardship Nigerians might go through due to the lockdown. The lawmaker, who is a chairman, House Committee on Air Force, commended President Muhammadu Buhari for the immediate implementation of the repayment moratorium of all trader money, market money, and farmer money loans. He urged Nigerians to adhere strictly to the stay-at-home directive, assuring to educate this constituency on the dangers of the virus. Kaduna Police Command has arrested 165 people and impounded 205 vehicles and tricycles, including 2 clerics who violated the curfew and social distancing order enforced by the state government. The police public relations officer of the command, ASP Mohammed Jalige, stated this in a statement issued to newsmen in Kaduna. ASP Mohammed Jalige explained that the command, in collaboration with other sister agencies, have put in place a robust enforcement strategies which has recorded significant success in terms of securing compliance from the civil population through community engagement. He added that the command has continued to enforce and closely monitor compliance of the order with a view to ensuring the success of the government effort geared towards curbing the contagious effect of COVID-19, as well as enhancing public safety and public health. According to him, the operatives of the command, in collaboration with other security agencies, has in the course of enforcement and are being interrogated at the command's criminal investigation department. The PPRO pointed out that the suspect will be prosecuted immediately on the completion of the investigation in accordance with the relevant extant laws of the land. He said the State Commissioner of Police, CP Omar Musa Muri, enjoins public to be law-abiding and continue to comply with the curfew and the social distancing orders aimed at enhancing public safety and public health in the state. Alright, viewers, we'll go on a short commercial break, and when we come back, Standard Voice Television News continues.
Coronavirus or COVID-19, the most recent outbreak that has turned to be a global pandemic. Watch how it easily and quickly spreads among humans.
That you can save your life and save the lives of many others by keeping yourself and your environment clean. As part of your civic responsibilities, you should help the government to maintain a clean environment in its determined effort to prevent any outbreak of coronavirus COVID-19 in the states. For your own safety, you should ensure regular washing of your hands with soap under running water or use sanitizer. Avoid body contact and avoid big gathering of people. In case you notice any symptoms of coronavirus, like difficulties in breathing, high body temperature, running nose, feverish condition, you should immediately contact any member of the contact committee on the outbreak of coronavirus COVID-19 on the following numbers: 081 65 40 86 96, 081 05 00 988, or 080-6303-5385. A stitch in time, they say, saves life.
This message is from Standard Voice Television, Svtv, Seoul, Zamfara State, Nigeria.
Welcome back on Business. Jamima Samuel has more detail.
Welcome to Business Desk. The Africa Development Bank has raised an exceptional $3 billion in a 3-year bond to help alleviate the economic and social impacts of COVID-19 pandemic will have on livelihoods and African economies. The Fight COVID-19 social bond, with a 3-year maturity, generated interest from central bank and official institutions, bank treasuries, and asset managers, including social responsible investors, with bids exceeding $4.6 billion. This is the largest dollar-dominated social bond ever launched in international capital market to date, and the largest US dollar benchmark ever issued by the bank. It will pay an interest rate of 0.7%. The Africa Development Group Bank is moving to provide flexible responses aimed at lessening the severe economic and social impacts of its pandemic on its regional member countries and Africa private sector. These are critical times for Africa as it addresses the challenges resulting from coronavirus. The African Development Bank is taking bold measures to support African countries. This $3 billion COVID-19 bond issuance is the first part of its comprehensive response that will soon be announced. President of the African Development Bank Group, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, said the bank is here for Africa and will provide significant rapid support for African countries. The other book for this record-breaking bond highlights the scale of investor support, which the African Development Bank enjoys, said the arrangers. The head of Sustainable Banking, Credit Agricole CBI Tanguy Clanquin, said as the COVID-19 outbreak is dangerously threatening Africa, the Africa Development Bank lives up to its huge responsibilities and deploys funds to assist and prepare the African population through the financing of its access to health and to all other essential goods, services and infrastructures. And that's what we have on Business Desk today. I'm Jemima Samuel. Thanks for watching.
On sports, Sufyan Abubakar has more detail.
Hello, welcome to Standard Voice Television Sports Room. I'm Svtv Abubakar, and as usual, I bring the sports updates. Barcelona FC players have forfeit 70% of their weekly wages from now until further notice, so as to reduce financial burden on the Spanish club and to ensure that all junior staff gets their complete salaries. The club captain Lionel Messi made this statement via the Catalan club's official website on Monday evening. It is well known that there have been problems recently between the club players and team management, but the club president, Josep Maria Bartomeu, this time around commended the action of the players. Bartomeu added that the decision was made by the club captains of the first team and the female team and the youth team, so as to ensure that the other staff get their complete salaries, as the Spanish club and the country in general, that is Spain, tackle the COVID-19 pandemic. A report recently showed that Spain have hit over 5,000 deaths due to the COVID-19 virus, and as a result, they became the third country to suffer most deaths from the COVID-19 virus. The Spanish La Liga is currently on hold. Barcelona FC are top of the log with a point ahead of arch rivals Real Madrid. And that's all we have on sports today. Back to the newsroom.
And on the international scene. Medical supplies and beds are seen inside a tent as volunteers from the International Christian Review Organization Samaritan's Purse set up an emergency field hospitals for patients suffering from the coronavirus in Central Park across 5th Avenue from Mount Sinai Hospital on March 30th in New York. With a rapid rise of hospitalizations and a health system nearly at capacity, New York Dr. Shamit Patel is preparing for the worst over the next few days, as while hoping he won't have to start choosing which coronavirus patient to treat. Just as 10 days ago, only half of the 46-year-old internist patient at Beth Israel, one of the Mount Sinai hospitals in Manhattan, was suffering from COVID-19. The wave of virus patients at Beth Israel corresponds to the one in auditing New York City, which shot from 463 confirmed cases 2 weeks ago to 36,000 on Monday. At the rate that is being recorded, the peak could be anywhere from end of this week to sometime next week. That has been the news from Standard Voice Television. To end the news, a quick look at the major headlines. Military kills 40 bandits in Zamfara and recovers over 1,000 cows. Governor Bello Matawalle inspects state border to assess the level of the lockdown. Governor Ganduje commends Kano people for observing fasting and prayer against COVID-19. On business, African Development Bank launches record-breaking $3 billion to fight COVID-19. On sports, Barcelona players agree 70% pay cut. And on the international scene, New York hospital doctors prepare for the worst on COVID-19. That's the news on behalf of the production crew and head of News and Current Affairs Department, Alhaji Ibrahim Garubatunyao. I still remain Musa Joy. Stay tuned.